They say football lives on fine margins, but Liverpool under Arne Slot have twisted those margins into something far more sinister. What once looked like luck, a series of late goals and nerve-shredding victories, has transformed into a calculated weapon, an edge honed sharp enough to slice through anyone who dares to stand in their path. Liverpool do not simply win. They suffocate opponents with a relentlessness that refuses to fade, even when the clock bleeds into its final moments. 4 wins out of 5, all decided in the dying breaths of matches, have painted a chilling picture of a team that simply refuses to die. What makes this even more haunting for rivals is that it is not chance. This is no miracle or fleeting form. It is the product of design, cold, precise, and merciless. Liverpool under Slot have taken the mentality monsters that Jürgen Klopp built and elevated them into something colder, more mechanical, and perhaps more terrifying. Klopp's Liverpool overwhelmed with chaos and passion. Slot's Liverpool dissect opponents with patience and calculation, then finish with the same fury that Anfield has always demanded. Bournemouth collapsed in the final minutes. Newcastle were silenced with a dagger in stoppage time. Burnley destroyed by relentless waves of red, and even Atletico Madrid, the masters of survival in Europe, were left gasping for air as the Dutchman's experiment unfolded before them. Slot has spent over $450 million since his arrival, not with recklessness but with surgical precision. Each signing has been a blade added to Liverpool's already lethal arsenal. Florian Wirtz, the young conductor, orchestrates tempo and invention. Jeremy Frimpong explodes from the flanks with unstoppable energy. Milos Kerkez fortifies the backline while adding dynamism forward. Giovanni Leone learns at the feet of Virgil van Dijk, preparing to carry the torch of defensive dominance. And Hugo Ekitike punishes with ruthless efficiency, already embedding himself in Liverpool's folklore of clinical finishers. This is not chaos. This is construction, a dynasty in the making. It is important to remember that Liverpool did not enter this new era from a place of weakness. They were already the Premier League champions, 10 points clear, playing football so fluid and ruthless it felt untouchable. But Slot did not come to preserve what Klopp left behind. He came to evolve it, to sharpen it, to turn it into something future-proof and devastating in Europe. Liverpool are not chasing England anymore. Their vision is far larger. They are chasing Europe itself. This is about dynasties, about empire, about echoing the 1970s and 80s when Liverpool ruled England with an iron fist, while mirroring Real Madrid's modern dominance in the Champions League. Slot's fingerprints are everywhere. Klopp's eternal 4-3-3, the very identity of a generation, has been replaced by Slot's ruthless 4-2-3-1. This change, subtle at first glance, has completely reshaped the team. Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis Mac Allister form the double pivot, a shield disguised as midfield artistry. Gravenberch has become a sentinel, leading the league in interceptions, his reading of danger turning attacks into ashes before they begin. Mac Allister, fresh from his World Cup triumph, has become the fire, lunging into tackles and duels, refusing to allow opponents a moment of comfort. Together, they are not just protecting Liverpool's defense, they are dictating the very terms of every match. But Slot's genius does not stop in midfield. Liverpool's defense has become a fortress carefully constructed for both present and future. Virgil van Dijk remains the towering general, alongside Ibrahima Konate, whose power and pace cement the back line. Yet Slot is already thinking years ahead, grooming Leone as Van Dijk's heir, while acknowledging Konate's likely future in Madrid. This is not reactionary. It is dynasty planning, the careful passing of torches from one generation to the next. The numbers reveal the result. Opponents are creating fewer chances, Alisson is less busy, and Liverpool's expected goals against has plummeted by over 16%. It may not scream spectacular, but it whispers invincible. The fullbacks, too, have been redefined. Frimpong and Kerkez embody the modern era, not just defenders, but engines of destruction. They surge forward with frightening speed, yet remain disciplined enough to retreat and lock down counters. While Kerkez adapts to Liverpool's punishing tempo, his raw pace already terrifies opponents. Frimpong, meanwhile, looks built for this system, stretching play, driving into spaces, and offering chaos with purpose. Yet perhaps the most striking change lies in Liverpool's attack. Under Klopp, their chaos could overwhelm, but sometimes wasted chances left points behind. Under Slot, the forwards look reborn, sharper and more clinical. Salah remains eternal, the pharaoh of Anfield, still carrying the ruthless edge of a man who refuses to age. Luis Diaz thrives on the counter, his speed and flair cutting open defenses. Cody Gakpo links the attack with intelligence, drifting deeper when needed to give balance. But the new era is embodied by two titanic additions: Florian Wirtz, the $120 million conductor of imagination, and Alexander Isak, the $125 million Scandinavian weapon, whose height, pace, and precision make him Liverpool's nightmare finisher for years to come. Already, Hugo Ekitike has exploded into life with goals and assists that suggest his ceiling is far higher than many expected. Salah, Gakpo, Isak, Ekitike, four names that together form an execution squad, capable of tearing apart any defense in Europe. For Slot, the only puzzle left is unlocking the chemistry between Wirtz and Salah. If those two connect, if German invention meets Egyptian ruthlessness, then Liverpool will not just dominate England. They will break Europe. Yet for all the tactics, for all the transfers, Liverpool's most frightening weapon remains intangible: mentality. Klopp once baptized them as mentality monsters, and under Slot, that spirit has not only survived, but evolved into something colder, calmer, and perhaps even more lethal. Liverpool have become the only side in Premier League history to win 4 consecutive games with goals scored after the 80th minute. Federico Chiesa's 88th minute strike, Rin Gomaz's 100th minute dagger, Szoboszlai's 83rd minute free kick, Salah's 95th minute penalty, Van Dijk's 92nd minute header on Champions League night. Different scorers, different situations, but the same terrifying truth. Liverpool do not blink. Where others panic, Liverpool breathe. Where others suffocate, Liverpool rise. Every player looks serene in chaos. Salah, after missing 2 penalties in succession, stepped up in the 95th minute with Anfield's history on his shoulders and converted with ice in his veins. Van Dijk, the captain, scored with the sheer force of will. Youngsters like Rin Gomaz came on and delivered in the 100th minute, proof that this belief runs not just through veterans, but through the next generation. Even Slot himself has admitted his obsession is not tactics alone, but how to extract energy from his players. Sometimes he pushes them with harshness. Other times he showers them with belief. Whatever the method, the result is the same. Liverpool believe they will win, no matter the minute, no matter the opponent. And it is not blind faith. This mentality is woven into the very DNA of the club. Since the Premier League's birth in 1992, no team has scored more 90th minute winners than Liverpool. 47 times they have struck at the death. Klopp embraced it. Slot has weaponized it. The beauty and terror of Slot's Liverpool is that the spectacle is far from complete. 6 games into a new campaign, chemistry is still building, Wirtz is still finding his rhythm, and the pressing shape is still evolving. Gakpo has dropped deeper to cover ground, freeing Salah to cheat higher up, a tweak designed not just to unleash the Egyptian king, but also to protect the system from collapse. Slot knows this balancing act cannot rely forever on late goals and heroic finishes. But for now, it is working. And it is terrifying to imagine what happens when it all clicks into place. Because make no mistake, Liverpool today are one of the most complete teams in world football. From Alisson's unshakable wall and goal, to Van Dijk's commanding presence, to a midfield that blends creativity, fire, and steel, to a forward line sharper than any in Europe, Slot has built something that feels less like a football team and more like a dynasty in motion. The echoes of the 1970s and 80s are already beginning to stir. Back then, Liverpool conquered England and Europe alike, building an empire of 11 league titles and 4 European Cups. Now, nearly half a century later, the foundations of another empire are being laid brick by brick, blade by blade. And the question that lingers over Europe tonight is simple and terrifying. Can anyone stop Arne Slot's Liverpool? Or has the new dynasty already begun, unstoppable, inevitable, and destined for immortality? Let us know in the comments!